The stew is almost ready, Mariam.
It smells wonderful, grandmother.
What if I told you a single meal could tell the story of an entire village? No restaurants. No machines. Just a grandmother, a tandoor oven, and a chicken stew passed down through generations. Welcome to village life in northern Iran. The first light of morning arrives quietly in the village, not with noise or urgency, but with a soft glow that slides over the green hills of northern Iran. Mist hangs low between walnut trees and rice fields, drifting like a slow breath from the earth itself. Roosters crow in the distance, their calls echoing from one hillside to another, as if the mountains are answering back. This is how the day begins here, unhurried, familiar, and deeply rooted in traditions older than memory. Small houses made of mud brick and would rest along narrow dirt paths. Their roofs, heavy with age, carry stories of countless winters and gentle summers. Smoke begins to rise from a few chimneys, thin and blue against the pale sky. Inside one of these homes, a family is already awake. Today is not an ordinary day. Today is a cooking day, one that brings the village together around fire, food, and shared time. Fatme, the grandmother of the house, moves slowly but confidently across the courtyard. Her headscarf is neatly tied, her hands rough from decades of work. These hands have kneaded dough, fed animals, gathered firewood, and cooked meals for generations. She does not need a clock. She knows the time by the smell of the air, by the way the light falls on the ground, by the quiet sounds of the village waking up. She bends to check the clay tandoor oven built into the earth near the wall. It has been there longer than anyone remembers. Her mother used it. Her grandmother used it. And today, her granddaughter Maryam will learn from it. Inside the kitchen, which opens directly to the courtyard, the younger women prepare ingredients on a low wooden table. A freshly slaughtered village chicken rests in a metal bowl, cleaned carefully with water drawn from a nearby spring.
Be sure to rub the turmeric in.
There is no
well,
waste
child.
here.
Like
Everything
this,
is respected.
Yes, that is perfect.
Every animal, every grain, every flame has value. Maryam watches closely as her mother cuts onions with practiced speed. The sound of the knife hitting the board is steady, rhythmic. The onions release their sharp scent, mixing with the cool morning air. Garlic is crushed using a stone pestle. Turmeric, black pepper, and dried herbs, gathered from the hills during summer, are laid out carefully. This chicken stew is not written in any recipe book. It lives only in memory. Outside, the men of the household return from morning chores.
Ah, my
One
heart.
carries a
You
bundle
are
of dry
finally
wood.
here. Come, eat.
Another brings fresh herbs tied together with string. A young boy runs ahead of them, his laughter cutting through the quiet air. He stops to watch his grandmother light the fire beneath the stew pot.
Hungry.
Fatme places a heavy iron
Almost,
pot
little
over
one.
the flames.
Go wash up.
She pours in oil, waiting patiently until it warms. There is no rush. Cooking here follows the rhythm of life, not the demands of time. The onions are added first, sizzling softly as they turn golden. She stirs them with a wooden spoon darkened by years of use. When the smell is just right, she adds the chicken pieces, one by one, listening to the sound they make as they meet the heat. "This is how you know," she says quietly, though no one asked. The sound tells you when the fire is ready. Spices follow, turmeric for color, pepper for warmth, a pinch of dried mountain herbs for depth. The stew begins to take shape, its aroma spreading across the courtyard, slipping through open doors, and drifting toward neighboring homes. Soon, other villagers will know what is being cooked, not because they were told, but because smell carries news faster than words here. While the stew simmers, attention turns to the bread. In a large bowl, flour
the
is
bread
mixed
is
with water,
here.
salt,
Yes,
and a small
grandmother.
piece of
Is the
fermented
stew
dough
ready?
saved from the last baking.
A few more minutes.
Maryam kneads with effort, her arms tiring quickly. Fatme watches, then gently corrects her movements. "Not like that," she says softly. "Feel the dough. Let it tell you what it needs." Maryam presses again, slower this time. The dough becomes smooth and alive under her hands. This bread will feed the family today, but it also
The stew
feeds
is
something
ready,
deeper,
Mariam.
a connection to land,
The aroma
to
is
ancestors,
wonderful
to a
tonight.
way of
Yes,
life that
grandmother.
refuses to
The bread
disappear.
is perfect too.
The tandoor is now hot. Flames lick the inner walls, turning the clay white with heat. Fatme tests it by tossing in a bit of flour. It browns instantly. She nods. It is ready. Small pieces of dough are stretched into thin ovals. One by one, they are slapped gently onto the hot inner walls of the tandoor.
No, my dear,
The
press
sound
it
is
softer,
soft
like
but final.
This. See?
There is no
yes.
turning back
It
once the
feels
bread
much
touches
better
the
now.
clay.
Thank you.
Within moments, the dough bubbles and browns, releasing a smell so comforting it feels like home itself. Neighbors begin to pass by, drawn by the familiar scene. Some stop to talk. Others offer help. A woman brings a bowl of fresh yogurt. Another offers tomatoes from her garden. This is how village life works. No invitations, no expectations, only shared presence. As the sun climbs higher, the stew thickens. The chicken becomes tender, absorbing every spice, every whisper of smoke. Fatme lifts the lid and tastes the broth. She closes her eyes for a moment, then adds a final pinch of salt. It's ready, she says. But no one eats yet. First, the bread is removed from the tandoor, one piece at a time, stacked carefully under a cloth to stay warm. The courtyard is now filled with life, children playing, women talking, men resting in the shade. The smell of stew and fresh bread hangs in the air like a promise. This meal is more than food. It is a gathering. It is memory. It is survival shaped into beauty. And as the family prepares to sit together, as bowls are laid out and hands are washed, the village seems to pause, holding its breath. Because moments like this, simple,
Good morning
honest,
to you
and
both.
deeply human,
Welcome, come in
are
for
what
some
keep
tea.
this place
Thank
alive.
you. Perhaps another time. We
The
must
bowls
be
are
going.
placed gently at the center of the woven cloth, each one
Welcome,
filled to the
please
edge with
enjoy
steaming
the
chicken
yogurt.
stew. The surface of the broth shimmers in the afternoon light, thin trails of steam
Here, my
rising
dear.
and dissolving
Eat
into
this.
the cool
It
air.
will give you strength.
Freshly
Thank
baked
you,
tandoor
grandmother.
bread lies nearby,
May your generosity
stacked
be
carefully,
blessed.
its surface blistered and golden, still warm enough to release a soft, comforting scent with every movement. No one reaches forward immediately. In this village, meals begin when everyone is present, not when hunger demands it. Fatme lowers herself onto a cushion, her movements slow but steady. Her presence quietly signals the beginning. The family gathers closer, children tucked between elders, shoulders brushing, knees touching. The closeness is natural, unforced, shaped by years of shared meals like this one.
Very hot.
Thank
There
you,
is
my
a
son.
moment of
Let us
silence,
eat.
not spoken or planned, but instinctive. It is a pause of respect, for the food, for the hands that prepared it, and for the life that
It
made
looks
it possible.
delicious, grandmother.
Miriam tears a piece of bread and dips it into the
Here is
stew.
the stew. Careful,
The bread
it is
absorbs
hot.
the broth immediately, darkening as it soaks up the flavor.
grandmother. Eat,
She
my
tastes it
dears.
slowly,
The stew
feeling
is
the warmth
fresh
spread
from the
through her.
tandoor.
The chicken is
It
tender,
smells
the spice is
wonderful,
gentle
grandmother.
but deep, balanced in a
Eat
way
well,
that
my
only
children.
experience can
The
achieve.
bread is fresh from
This
the
stew
tandoor.
tastes like the
It
village
is
itself,
perfect, mother.
simple, patient,
like I
and
remember.
enduring.
Eat, Mariam. It is
Across
still
from
warm
her,
from the
Fatme
tandoor.
watches without staring.
It smells wonderful.
She notices
The
everything.
bread is perfect
When
tonight.
Miriam looks up, their eyes meet. No words are needed, but Fatme nods slightly, acknowledging both the success of the dish and the continuation of something far older than either of them. As the meal unfolds, the quiet gives way to soft
have some more
conversation.
stew.
Thank you, Fatima.
Someone mentions the coming rain and how the fields
The
will welcome
best in
it.
the village.
Another recalls a winter long ago
Peace be
when
upon
snow
you,
covered the
Fatima.
village
This
for
stew
weeks and
smells
bread had to be
wonderful.
shared
And upon
carefully.
you.
There is plenty for everyone.
Laughter
Please sit.
appears,
The bread
gentle
is
and
fresh from the
unhurried.
tandoor.
Children
The
interrupt
warmth
with
of the
questions,
bread,
their curiosity
spice of
woven
the
into the
stew.
conversation without
These are the
annoyance.
flavors of our home.
A neighbor,
passed
Reza,
down. The quiet
arrives
moments
late,
like these
apologizing
are the
softly.
true blessings.
He is welcomed
When
without
the sun
comment.
sets, the
A
earth
bowl is
breathes.
shifted, bread is passed, space is made. In the village, arriving late does not mean missing out, it simply means joining when you can. Reza eats slowly, nodding with appreciation, his eyes closing briefly as he tastes the stew. "This reminds me of my mother's cooking," he says quietly. Fatme smiles, not with pride, but with understanding. Food carries memory more faithfully than words ever could. As the bowls begin to empty, no one rushes to refill them. Eating here is about satisfaction, not fullness. When enough has been taken, hands rest, conversation deepens. The meal shifts naturally into something else, a gathering, a shared moment of being.
The tallest walnut
Tea is
tree.
prepared
Just
next.
Back then, the hills were
The
even
kettle is
greener,
placed back on
and
the
we would
fire,
run
which
through
still
the rice
glows
fields
softly.
until the sun set
Dried mint
behind
and
those
mountain herbs are
mountains.
added, releasing their
The
fragrance as the
hills
water
remember
heats.
everything, child.
Small glass cups are
The
lined up,
wind
each
carries the
one waiting
whispers
patiently.
of those who walked
When the tea is poured,
Stir it
it
slowly
glows
now,
amber,
Mariam.
catching the
The
fading
aroma
light
is
of the
beautiful
afternoon.
tonight.
It
The
smells
elders sip
wonderful,
first,
grandmother.
followed by the others. The warmth of the tea settles into the body, calming and grounding. Children sit quietly now, listening as stories
The
begin
fields
to
are
surface.
beautiful tonight,
Stories that
Mariam.
only come out
It
in moments
reminds
like
me
this.
of my youth.
It is
Fatme
very
speaks of her
peaceful,
childhood,
grandmother.
her voice steady but distant,
tandoor
as if
hot
she is
enough
looking
yet?
across decades.
Almost, child.
She remembers
scent of
waking
the
before
bread
dawn to
already
help her
fills the
grandmother
air.
prepare bread. She remembers
Thank you for
carrying
the
water
meal,
from the
Fatime
spring,
Jan.
her
Be
hands
safe on
numb
the
from the
road.
cold.
God be with you. We
She
hope
remembers
to see
a
you both
time when
again
the
soon.
village was louder, fuller,
should get going.
alive with
God
more
bless you.
voices.
Take care. May the journey
We
be
didn't
safe.
have much,
Goodbye,
she says,
we hope to see
her
you soon.
fingers wrapped around the warm glass. But we had each other. And we had fire. The word hangs in the air, fire. Not just the flames that cook the food, but the fire that gathers people, that keeps stories alive, that pushes back the dark. Miriam listens closely. She realizes that these stories are not meant to entertain. They are instructions, passed down carefully, disguised as memories. They teach patience, resilience, and gratitude, lessons no school could ever replace. Outside the courtyard, the village begins to shift toward evening. Shadows stretch across the dirt paths. Chickens wander back toward their coops. A breeze moves through the trees, carrying the smell of earth, smoke, and distant cooking fires. Somewhere, a radio plays softly, its sound fading in and out. One by one, neighbors begin to leave. They thank Fatme quietly, some pressing her hand, others simply nodding. No one overpraises the food. Excessive words are unnecessary. Gratitude here is shown through presence,
Eat
through
well, my
returning
child.
kindness when the time comes.
There is always enough
As the
for
courtyard
those we love.
empties, the family begins to clean. Bowls are washed at the outdoor basin, water splashing softly against metal. Bread crumbs are swept away. Leftover
This
stew
tea
is covered
warms the
carefully.
soul,
It will
doesn't
be
it?
eaten again tomorrow.
There is
its
nothing
flavors
better
deeper,
than
more
this
settled.
warmth on a cold night.
Fatme tends to the tandoor one last time. She watches the embers glow, then slowly fade. She does not extinguish them abruptly. Fire, like life, must be allowed to end gently. The sky darkens, turning deep blue, then almost black. Stars begin to appear, one by one, bright and sharp in the clear air. Lamps are lit inside the house, their warm glow spilling into the courtyard. The family gathers indoors, sitting close again, wrapped in blankets. A child leans against his mother, already half asleep. Someone hums a familiar tune, soft, wordless, comforting. It is a sound that has filled this house for generations. Miriam steps outside briefly,
This
standing
tea
alone
warms
under
the
the
soul,
stars.
doesn't it?
She looks
There
down
is
the path
nothing
that leads
better
away
than
from the
this
village,
warmth
toward
on a
roads
cold
and
night.
cities and futures unknown. She knows she may leave this place one day. Life will take her elsewhere. But she also knows that this moment will never leave her. Because village life is not a location, it is a rhythm. It lives in the way bread is torn
Life
by
in the
hand,
village moves slow,
in the
like
patience
the
of a
river,
stew that
but
takes
it
hours
carries
to
the
cook,
wisdom of generations.
in the silence shared
Listen
before a
closely
meal,
now. Eat, child.
in the
The
stories
stew is
told when the
warm.
tea is hot
It is
and the evening
delicious,
is long.
thank you.
She returns inside, closing the door softly behind her. The house feels full, even in its quiet. The fire is gone now, but its warmth remains, lingering in the walls, in the food, in the people. And as night settles completely over the village of northern Iran, the earth seems to rest. Another day has been lived honestly. Another tradition has been practiced, not preserved in a museum, but carried forward through hands, voices, and shared time. This is how the village survives. Not by resisting change, but by remembering who it is. This wasn't just a meal. It was memory served in a bowl. Tradition baked into bread. And a reminder that the simplest lives often carry the richest meaning.